wanna get sick. Okay!
I wanna get sick.
Man, I wanna get sick.
And we are here to tell part 3 of our love story. I know y'all been waiting. I know it takes us a long time to tell these, but I don't know. So we left off with BC and Civish up at Toys R Us, and if I spoke to him or not.
She didn't speak to me, and I didn't see her, so I would have talked to her. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was with my baby mama, I would have talked to her because, you know, me and my baby mama was on some rocky terms back then, and I was looking for an out.
And I should have talked to him because the loser that I was with at the time told me, I told him that, I was like, oh, that was the guy, I used to like him. He's like, you should talk to him. But I don't know, I just wasn't feeling comfortable. I wanted to be talking to him when I was cute. I had just woke up. It was Black Friday, so I had woke up early in the morning and threw on anything. So I wanted to be looking cute, and then I saw him with that chick, and I'm like, and they had a baby, and I'm like, that ain't somebody I want to be talking to. So I didn't talk to Civish. So how many years went by then? That was about 2004 or 2005.
Alright. Shit, man. Fucking work.
You didn't work today.
So what? I woke up early.
No, you didn't. You woke up at 10 o'clock. You woke up at 10:30. You did not wake up early. Anyway, so that was either 2004 or 2005. So we didn't talk for... I didn't see him or talk to him for another 5 years. 2009 was the next time that we interacted.
Yep.
How did we find each other?
You found me on MySpace.
MySpace.
I didn't even know how to work that shit for real.
You were side god, baby. He was SODGOD.
Yep, I was the side goddamn.
And it said, you may know this person. I saw him on there. I sent him a message. I said, hey, you remember me? You know, blah, 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 such and such. I left like all my phone numbers and all that so he could hit me up.
And I showed my dude. My dude was like, man, you don't know her. Ha, ha, ha. Because it said she was an actor in Los Angeles and all that. So my dude was thinking I was some type of nigga who only be messing with moolies and rats.
Well, maybe you were only messing with moolies and rats, though.
Well, yeah, I was only messing with moolies and rats. So he did have a reason to think that. I got this message and shit, and I'm like, you know, I knew exactly who she was. She was like, you know, remember me and shit like that. I thought it was, you know, it was too good to be true. I'm like, what? Yeah. But I ain't call her. She left her number on there. But I ain't call her because, you know, she was like, you know, I was basically DJ off Hustle and Flow. I wasn't doing shit for real here. I was just pending doom.
And I waited. I waited. It took you like 2 weeks to respond.
Cause you gotta know how to say what up though. Can't just be like, what up though? Like, nah, it's thirsty. You gotta be like, what up though?
You gotta make people wait.
Yeah, you can't be thirsty about
why would
shit.
You wait? Tell them why that was being thirsty, making me wait 2 weeks though. So you saw the message and then waited?
Yeah.
I wonder, did you see the message right away?
No, it wasn't right away because I didn't check MySpace. I didn't even know how to set MySpace up. My friend had set that MySpace up for me because I was doing music then and stuff. So it was like I didn't even know how to use MySpace all the way for real. But I was starting to use it a little more when I had got that message. So
like, it is I, Sid D. You know, I see you doing that acting thing. I like to play that role.
That's probably corny as fuck. So what?
He like, I like to play that role or something.
I was talking about acting.
I know.
Oh. I was talking about really trying to get in a movie or some shit. No, fuck it.
And Sid Fish has been in a movie too, by the way. We both have been in movies, so we'll talk about that later. So when he said that, it's like it made me giggle because he used to always say, "It is I," and I was like, "Oh, he's like his same self." And but he didn't leave like a number for me to call him, and it was like, okay. So then you decided to call. Then I think he called one day. So where you got to tell about when you called?
I called her. It was like, I don't know, it was in the afternoon or some shit, or was it the morning?
Well, you know, we were on a 3-hour time difference, so I was at work. So it was probably the afternoon, because then I worked, like, the night shift, like 4 to 1 or 4 to 12 or 3 to 12 or something like that. So I was just about to start my shift at work, and he called from, like, a private number and all of that. Calling private? So I just kind of thought he was on some bullshit or whatever, but I was at work.
Yeah, my mother's number comes up private.
But I knew it was him, because no one called me private. Everybody knew better than to call me private, so I answered. I was at work. I was so excited to hear from you. I wanted to be like, what took you so long to call me?
You did say that.
I did. Well, I'm glad. I was glad that he called, and we talked just for a hot second because I was just about to start working. And then I don't know if we talked again after that.
Yeah, we did.
So then we just talked back and forth on the phone, like back and forth. We wasn't talking about getting with each other or nothing like that.
Nah.
We just talked, catching up, and we'd talk here and there. Talk to you sometimes not. And then I was supposed to come there in like June. I was supposed to come visit because at this time I'm living in California. I moved, and he's still living in Cleveland. And so we lived in different states by this time. So it was like, I thought I was gonna come there in June. I didn't. And so I came there. I was able to get some tickets to come there for Thanksgiving. And, you know, we were talking back and forth, but I hadn't talked to him like for a month before I came because he was always losing phones and stuff. You're always losing phones, and on the day that I was about to come to town, it just so happened I checked my Facebook, and he was like, "You came to town and didn't hit me up," or whatever, because I guess he had read my post saying I was on my way. And then so I called him immediately. I like, no, like I'm at the airport. Like I'm going to be there later on today. I said, you got what I need. Talking about the good ganja. I was talking about that. You know, where I could get some ganja and stuff like that. So what happened? You don't know?
Yeah, shit. I was on my way to work, I think. And, yeah, so I was just pumped all day. Like, I think I might have called you like 5 or 6 times just to make sure you was alright.
Yeah.
Make sure you was still coming and shit like that.
It's like he kept calling me, like, but I was glad that he was calling me because it's like every time I got on a layover, it seemed like he would call. So I had somebody to talk to on the way, like, because I was like, I was going to see him, but I did kind of like have some other people I was going to see that I planned on seeing or whatever. And, you know, it was just like I kept talking to him though, so it was like, yeah, you know, it's like I'm gonna go and see him. Far away, I actually had another date lined up with someone else.
So she was just gonna come smoke my weed.
Yeah, cause that guy didn't smoke. And then leave. I was gonna come and smoke the weed.
And I was gonna let that happen.
But the other dude, I didn't know him or nothing like that. We had met online and blah blah blah, and that wasn't gonna work out. I liked Sid Fish. So I finally get there. My sister picks me up. You know, we go. I was eating meat back then, so I got some chicken. I got some Mai Tais, whatever. Hung out with my sister, so he called. And I don't know. Did you say you still coming through or whatever?
Mhm. Thought you was bullshitting. It was late as fuck.
It was late. It was like 10 o'clock at night. And so I was like, I ain't got nothing to do. I'm in town. I was like, why don't I just go to sleep? So I'm gonna kick it with you. So I went. I found the CDs. I got my sister's truck. I played with the Carrie Hilson CD in. Maybe I'll play the song so they can hear the song. And I went to see him. And he had on something like this outfit.
All black everything.
I think you had on that, had the stocking cap on too, and a hat.
Probably. If it was cold.
You look sexy. You
All black everything. That's how I used to dress back in 2009. All black all the time.
And he had on way too much cologne. It smelled good, but you had on way too much cologne.
Tried to give her a hug or some shit. She was just like, made a face. So I was just like, ugh.
No, I didn't make a ill face. I stuck my hand out to shake his hand because I wasn't going to be
Right,
hugging him and all
right.
that. And he was like, well, that's what's up.
Right.
Because I didn't want him to be thinking that we were going to be doing nothing or being like that.
Right.
So we rode around, and then the song should have been on. What's the song that I said should be playing? Drink a little bit, smoke a little bit, pop a little bit, man get fucked up, because that's what happened.
I think I hit a couple licks, maybe 2 of them. And we was listening to Ghostface, Stapleton Sex, and she wanted to hear it 5 times in a row.
It was a nasty song. And I was like, oh my God. And it was like, it was turning me on, I guess.
She kept wanting to hear it over and over.
Yes, I kept wanting to hear it over and over because I couldn't believe this man was talking nasty like that. And I was like cold. I was cold, and then Sid Bitch like put his hands on my hands, like trying to warm him up. And I was like, oh, and it felt nice. So because this was the first time we were there. It was the first time that I had kissed Sid Vish like in years, and it was the same thing. It was the same thing. Your lips felt the same and everything. It was like, oh, it is really him. It's him after all this time. And it was like, oh, it's like I just couldn't believe, like, you know, all that time had went by, and like we were older and we had like found each other again. We got fucked up. We got fucked up, and we wound up at the Sea Ray Motel. We went in there, and we had sex. We had sex on the first night. But our sex on the first night is not like other people having sex on the first night, because we knew each other already. We had never had sex before, though.
It almost didn't happen because I was high as fuck off drugs, man.
It didn't almost happen. I forgot it didn't almost happen.
I was high as fuck off drugs, man.
It was just
and
like,
she was like, just
God.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm like, man, this shit don't never happen to me, man. I'm high off drugs. But that's what happens sometimes. I read the Rick James story, and Rick James used to have that problem a lot too, because he'd be so fucking high off drugs. So I was too high off drugs that night.
I don't want people
but
to
then,
think we was doing major drugs, though.
I don't give a fuck what people
We
think.
can tell them what kind. We don't have to, make it seem like it was drugs.
It was drugs. It wasn't coke.
It wasn't coke,
crack.
It wasn't heroin.
It wasn't heroin.
Crack,
it wasn't meth. But it was drugs.
It wasn't angel dust.
Nope, but it was drugs still. And so I was high as hell. And I went first I sat on the floor butt naked.
Really, baby?
Then I went and got in the shower.
You did all that?
You don't remember that?
That wasn't that
And
nice.
I was looking in the mirror like, damn, my eyeballs were so fucking big in my eye. It was dilated. It was so huge in there. I was like, damn, I'm high as fuck. But then that shit brought me down.
Night, baby.
It was though.
I know you were on the floor. No, that wasn't that night. That wasn't then. That wasn't then. That was another time. We don't know.
See? It'd be too high.
I just know that when it happened, you know, you were saying porno things to me. And it happened, and it was great. It was like, oh my God, where have you been my whole life?
And we was banging all night into the morning.
All night into the morning.
Niggas sleep in there and then woke up and just start banging again.
Yeah,
just banging.
We had lots of sex that night. A lot. To all night long.
Yeah. That happened.
And then
Then it was wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
it was the second night. I think we watched this movie called Psychomedia. It was crazy. Look it up. It was a movie from the 70s. And then, is that when I peeled off?
Yeah.
What happened?
The next day. Well, the morning she dropped me off, we was like, all right, then. And I got out, and then she just, like, skirted off fast as fuck. So fast, dirt flew on me. Like, the wheels
What?
kicked up, dirt flew it on me. I'm like, damn. This nigga getting the fuck out of here.
Because I didn't want to be feeling no, I didn't want to be having no feelings or whatever, and he lived so far away. I dropped him off and I peeled off like, F him. I ain't gonna try to get no feelings or whatever. So I didn't call him, and I was like, if he calls me, then I'll talk to him. And he did. He called me and we talked, and I was just doing that, in case he had a girl, or in case he didn't want to be for real about me, in case he just wanted to be wham-bamming me. So I was gonna wham-bam him first. And then I went back to LA. I was sprung by then, though, already. I was trying to act like I wasn't. And so I went back to LA.
She had told all her friends about me.
I told all our friends about him. I curbed people.
And made a video and showed all her friends the video.
No, that wasn't when I made the video. I thought that was the next time. We didn't make a sex tape our first time.
No, we didn't.
We made the sex tape the second time. So I went back to LA. This is like in November, and we started talking every day. We Skyped each other. Is that when we had? Did we have Skype sex or that was after? Huh?
That was after.
That wasn't that time. That was before you was about to come. Well, anyway, so Sid Vish, I wanted him to come to LA. He said he was going to come around his birthday, which is on Christmas Day, and he didn't.
I'm from Cleveland. Shit happens. I got robbed.
He got robbed, for a week before Christmas, and so I decided to get a ticket and come back to Cleveland and visit him. And it was so cold, and we went to that same motel, and we did the same things. We just, hung out there for like 4 or 5 days. Then I went back, and I had feelings. Then that's when we made our sex tape, and watched and just ate pizza. And then Sid Vish came to visit me in LA. He was only supposed to stay for 4 days, and he stayed for months.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I fell in love. I fell in love before that, because I cried when I left the second time. I didn't skirt off or nothing. I got on the plane and I cried, and I wanted you. And then when you came to LA is when we wanted to be together, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we told you, we went to Vegas, and we told his mom that we had got married. We eloped, and she was pissed. But it wasn't true, because we hadn't got married yet. Back and forth. Oh, we got to tell them. We got to tell them what happened. Oh, yeah. So one day when I came to visit Sid Vish, so this ties back into the beginning of the story, part one of our love story. I came to visit Sid Vish in April, and remember that the phone call that I called Sid Vish, and the voice said, he don't want to fuck with you no more. We ran into the voice of who that was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they don't know that this happened.
Mm-hmm.
So we ran into the person that was the voice, and this person wanted to confess.
Told us he had did that shit. Yeah, and just was apologetic, whatever.
Well, we didn't tell them. They don't know. We gotta tell them what it was. The person that it was a guy that he was friends with at the time answered the phone and told me that Sid Vish didn't want to fuck with me no more. And he did that. He told us why he did that. He admitted all of these years. This is 15, 16 years later. He said, I did that because you were talking to my friend, and I wanted to mess around with other girls, and I figured that if you were with Sid, you were going to tell her that I was messing around with other girls. And we were pissed. We were mad at him. And, he did apologize. He's like, well, y'all together now? But we were like, what? You did that? He had me mad at Sid Vish all of that time. All of those years I'm mad at Sid Vish because I couldn't believe that he had said that to me, that he didn't want to mess around with me. And then all of those bad relationships and things that happened in between, you know, we were mad. We were mad at that dude for doing that because he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to mess up our relationship. He didn't have to say nothing. If he wanted to be cheating on that girl, he didn't need to be worried about if I was going to tell him or not tell or whatever. He could have kept it real with her, but he messed something up with us for years. You know, me and Sid Vish would have been married back then. We would have got married back then.
Yep. But
we're together now.
That's why if you ever hear something, you should just say something about it, man. Don't ever not say nothing.
Don't ever not confront the person and ask them if, you know, it's true. I should have asked Sid Vish, or, you know, we should have talked about it. You know, we didn't have communication.
Instead of saying you washing your hair and all that bullshit, you should have just said, like, what the fuck am I talking to you for? You don't want to fuck with me. And I'm like, what?
You should have said, why aren't you saying nothing to me? Why aren't
I
you
did
talking
say
to
that.
me?
I did say that.
Or you shouldn't have friends that, you know, do things like that.
She's doing everything but placing the blame where it belongs. She don't want her that shit. She should have said something.
I agree that I should have said something, but I was so hurt and mad. I couldn't believe that he had done
So
that.
don't say nothing.
But you trying to tell me.
And then look what happened, though. All those years went by because you ain't say nothing.
But you trying to
Should've
tell
said
me
something.
if you really liked me, you're not going to ask.
I did ask.
You asked, you did. You
Yeah.
asked me what's wrong with you?
Yeah, so fucking say what's wrong. You don't just be like, and you ain't sleep. That's corny. Who does that?
So I fucked up our life. I did it, or did he do it?
He did it. And then you let it happen.
But he must have knew something. He must have knew.
He knew you
But
wasn't going to say shit.
he had to. He went all of those years without saying nothing. He could have said something before that. He even hooked him up. He hooked him up with his baby mama and everything. Hooked him up with these other people and caused all these problems. So me and Sid Vish had 15 years of agony and hate towards each other.
I didn't hate nobody.
You
Like I
didn't
told
like
you
me.
before, I didn't know what happened.
You stopped talking to me. You said,
I didn't know
"Fuck
what
her."
happened. I didn't know what happened. And I wasn't finna sit around trying to figure it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? You knew what happened and you took your own actions about it. So that's what happened.
I just wish that I could go back in time and change that day. Because I would have said... I would have said something.
Sup, it's the SiQ Show.
Invade your airspace without a trace. Our DNA, a lace your system, another victim. Prediction of them sick inflictions is numerous. The mission, everybody's body consuming us. It's humorous, or oh so serious, got you curious. What you looking for? Everything you want, baby, here it is. In your ear, out the other. Tell your mama, tell your brother, you've now been infected. Did I fucking stutter? Gotta love us once you catch the germ. Them questions of the hour from the answers you can learn. A lot about people, a lot about relationships. A lot of people hating, but ain't nobody hating. Sick.
Okay!
Really?
It's the SiQ Show! Man, I want to get sick. Okay!
I wanna get sick.
Man, I want to get sick.